everybody, what I want to do with this video is show you how the Roland Cube Street EX works with a mixer. This is important if you run out of inputs. Just starting from the left here, you can see there's a good XLR input, also works as a line input for an instrument. Same thing in the second input, however, with the second input you get an acoustic guitar simulator, some effects there that aren't available in the first input. Then we're going to move over to the right of that and we see something called line in. This is what we're going to be dealing with today. We're going to basically plug the output cables from our mixer into this line in into both those inputs. You'll notice a little volume knob next to that. Right now, of course, everything's turned off and it's zero. But that is what we're going to cover today in this video, how this all works. So what we want to do now is show you our mixer, how we have it set up here. Probably the first thing to mention is when you use your Roland Cube with a mixer, up here are these two cables. You can see that says stereo out. And so basically we have a right and a left cable that have output and input into the Roland Cube. From there we're going to move along the top, see what we have. We have three mics plugged in. You'll notice the first two, I'll just tell you, you can't tell from this, but there is a switch here called Phantom for phantom power that is lit up. It's on, and it's a good thing because those first two mics are phantom powered microphones. Our third mic is a direct mic, not requiring phantom power. So moving down the mixer, we have various knobs that look probably familiar if you use another kind of a mixer. For today's purposes, we're going to be basically dealing with the peak down here, and we're also going to be looking at the gain right here. And with these phantom powered mics, they are quite sensitive. So to get started here, we'll go ahead with our first mic. This is our peak. I know from experience, although the manual says to turn it all the way up to this little mark. I don't know if you can see that. We're not going to go quite that high. I'm going to only go about that high. And then what I'm going to do is go up here to the gain, and I'm just going to just a little bit. Actually, you know, I'm going to do one more thing before we get there, and that is I'm going to go over here to the mixer and I'm going to make a small adjustment. If you can see this, I'm going to take this volume. This is our output. Just going to turn it up to 25%. We don't need much. We're inside. We're just testing. And we have some real sensitive phantom powered mics. Moving back here to the mixer now. Now I got my peak where I wanted it, and I adjusted my gain just a little bit here. All right, we're going to try that. And let's go ahead and walk over to our number one microphone and see what we got here. Check, check, 1, 2. So you can hear it. It's not real loud. We might be able to come up some more. But let's go over here and try just a little bit, maybe a little bit more. We'll come down here. Okay, let's see what we got now. All right. Here's our number one mic again. Yeah, now you can hear it. I'm about 6 inches away, and it is picking me up just fine. So that was our first mic. Now we'll move along and set up our second mic. So we come back to our mixer and we do pretty much the same thing. This is another phantom powered mic. So we come down to our peak and we turn it up. Again, that's going to be probably plenty. Now this will be interesting as we bump up our gain. We'll want to be careful. So again, we don't need to go all the way to the this white spot, if you see that white, we don't need to go quite that high. All right, let's check him out. All right, so we're moving over here. We got our second mic. Yep, it's definitely hot, a little bit of ring even. And this mic is still picking me up. You hear that ring? So we'll have to adjust that in our gain. But that gives you an idea of how sensitive these phantom powered mics are. Just one other thing I'll mention at this point. If you notice, I have the Roland Cube. I have it out in front and actually away from the microphones. The reason I do that is to minimize feedback. So those are hot and they're about ready to hum and feedback. Let me move over to the direct mic. Here's a direct mic, good old Shure SM58. Let's go down and go ahead and adjust our levels here in the mixer. We're gonna do our peak level 3 at this point. We'll go ahead and bump him up pretty healthy. Pretty healthy. If you can see right about there is a little niche where they say, oh yeah, don't be afraid, move it up to that little niche there. Not sure how you can see that, but with a direct mic we have a little bit more freedom, a little bit more liberty to bump this up. Now this is not a phantom powered mic, so we're going to turn up our gain pretty healthy on this one. And you can see, yeah, we're up where they say go ahead and turn it. Now let's go test the volume just to see how we're doing on our feedback. So here is my SM58. Got the wrong knob there, folks. Let's try the third knob for gain. Here's our gain. Okay, so we can go pretty good on that gain. Let's check it out. Test 1. Okay, so that's our Shure SM58. Lots of gain, pretty good. I'm probably about 4 inches away at this point, and it's sounding good. So here again are the basic connections we need for this mixer. Because we have phantom powered mics, we need to keep in mind how sensitive they can be. We've adjusted that accordingly with our volume and our gain. Now our third mic, it's not phantom powered, it's a direct mic, so we can bump it up a little bit higher, which you showed here that we have. Those are really the basics of how to use a mixer with the Roland Cube Street EX.